Welcome to Long Live Baseball. My name is Seth Dewald. You can find me on Twitter at Seth_Dewald. My friend, my colleague, my co-host, my frenemy on the other side of the screen, the Cubs fan extraordinaire. You can find him on Twitter at Michael Jones IA. His name is Mike Jones. And you can follow the show at Long Live Baseball, LNGLIVBASEBA11 on Twitter. Mike, how you doing?
I don't know why I did that long live baseball so complicated thing. Maybe there's a way that we could fix the Twitter handle.
Perhaps
I'll have to go in. I'm going to get into the Twitter world, the Twitterverse, as some are fond or want to call it, and see if I can update that. Say, I'm doing well. I'm glad you called me the frenemy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the frenemy.
Yeah,
I've never heard that term before. I don't think that's a baseball term, but I'd like it. And my son, kind of an off the baseball thing right now. My son did go with your sleeper pick last night in his draft. So, so we'll see what happens with the Pacheco.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to keep it on the down low because I don't know if you know this, but not to shameless plug here, but after this is over, my wife and I are actually doing a draft or like a mock draft after this that's going to go on my fantasy football channel. And we're going to try not to bring up that name because we know our friends are probably going to be watching because we're preparing for a friends and family fantasy football league. But I think this is Kansas City. Word's going to spread like wildfire about this guy, Isaiah Pacheco. If you don't know, I mean,
I didn't drop that. I was going to say we could restart the show, but you just released it to the YouTube verse.
You got to give out. Some people are like, hey, I've got all the secrets. I've got them all. All you got to do is click the pay behind the paywall. No, I just give you everything for free. All you got to do is watch the show. It's fine.
Subscribe and like.
Subscribe and like. You get everything for free. It's amazing. There's nothing better than something free. Everyone else is like, oh, a paywall. Like, no, not here. But anyway, we're here to talk about baseball, right?
Not fantasy football. You haven't started a Patreon yet? You don't have a Patreon?
No. Not yet. I'm not a big shot.
In terms of that Patreon stuff, I'm here to tell you that I'm that guy.
You are?
Yeah, no, I'm that guy that will pay you. If you offer $0 as an opportunity for me to get your content, I'm giving you $0.
Yeah.
Or if you say, give what you want, all right, I'll give you $1.
Yeah.
That's me.
Right.
I'm that guy.
No, I hear you. But we're here to talk about baseball.
We are.
And I was there on Saturday. Cardinals Brewers, Wainwright pitching, as my dogs erupt in the background because they're like, yes, Cardinals. We're talking about the Cardinals.
They're excited.
So yeah, it was an amazing game. But before we get into the game, I guess I didn't realize that it was the 1982 reunion. 40 years have gone by since the 1982 World Series the Cardinals won against the Brewers, by the way, and you can't tell me the Cardinals didn't do that on purpose because they did when the Brewers were in town. So this tells me maybe there's a little rivalry brewing, no pun intended,
I see what you did there.
With the Brewers. Yeah, so maybe the Cardinals are starting to take the Brewers a little bit more seriously, which they should have done all along. And not just react when the Cubs, make big free agent moves, but whatever. So that they, everybody came back, I didn't realize, the 1982 team is a little bit before my time, but I didn't realize Keith Hernandez was on that team. Of course, the famous shot of Darryl Porter and Bruce Sutter hugging each other, Jack Buck's famous call. Darryl Porter's family was there. And of course, you had like Tommy Herr. And then Willie McGee comes along, and everybody is going around the outfield in cars and trucks. And Whitey Herzog was the first one to be there, and he looks great for 90 years old now. He looks amazing.
Sounds like a carnival.
I mean, it was great. I don't think a carnival quite, I mean, a commemoration, a celebration.
All right.
They had the highlights playing of the 1982 team. And the whole time I'm thinking, why can't we go back to this style of baseball? It's so much more exciting than, some of the baseball that I watch now. But then, of course, everybody comes around in the last one, and he gets a huge ovation, as he always does in St. Louis, is Ozzie Smith. And, there's just something about that team, with Willie McGee. And I didn't realize they won 92 games. It wasn't like this was some kind of dominant team, and
right.
So it was just one of those teams that in St. Louis, it had been a long time since they had won a World Series. And I think they had a long playoff drought in there too. So seeing that at the very beginning was, icing on the cake to what was the most incredible game that I've seen in a long time. So, of course, the game begins, and we have Wainwright and Molina, the battery. And Wainwright is pitching, and he's in the third inning, and my mom's sitting next to me, and she's like, "Oh, he's got a no-hitter going." And I don't think anything of it. So I'm like, my mom clearly doesn't know the unwritten rules of baseball that you're not supposed to talk about a no-hitter when a no-hitter is going on. So anyway, but then it's the fourth inning, no hits. The fifth inning, still no hits. And all the while, my mom's like, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if we saw a no-hitter? Oh, it'd be amazing if we saw no-hitter. Like, she's saying it about as many times as you can. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Sixth inning goes by, still no-hitter going. And I believe it was the seventh inning. It was either the seventh or eighth inning when Andrew McCutchen finally lined a soft liner into center field and broke up the no-hitter. And it was just, disappointing. But, of course, Wainwright gets a huge ovation, as he should. So that there was that drama going on. And then in the eighth inning, I believe it was the eighth inning, the Brewers make a pitching change, and they bring in Taylor Rogers, who's a left-handed pitcher. And Pujols did not start the game because Corbin Burns is one of the best right-handed starting pitchers in baseball. He just is.
Yep.
And so, what's up? Do you need
help that game? That game, by the way.
And I need to take the door off.
Oh, okay. We might have to stop this and recoup here because they need my help. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. Let's plan on those of you that are watching the show. Are out there? We don't know. I don't know. But
yeah.
Let's plan on getting together later. You got stuff going on.
Okay. I apologize. I'll finish my story real quick because it's not going to take too long.
Finish that story.
So they bring in Taylor Rogers, who's a left-handed pitcher. And of course I turn to my grandma and I say, there's a good chance that Pujols pinch hits here because we're at the bottom of the order. And sure enough, it was like they pulled back. I think it was either Newt Barr, Brendan Donovan, and here comes Pujols, and 46,000 people stand. And when in between pitches, people were murmuring, but as the pitch was headed toward home, it was like that. Just it's almost like watching The Natural. It was like dead quiet. I hadn't seen a moment like that in a long time. And Pujols ended up striking out, but it was still unbelievable. It was just one of those memorable moments that you'll never forget. And then, of course, I'll get into more of this later, but I have to go. We will pick this up later. My wife is literally going to scream at me. We thought this wouldn't be a problem, but anyway.
You're good, brother.
Thank you for watching. We'll pick this up later, and I have to end the broadcast right now, but
this is live. That's what happens. All right. Like an earthquake. It's San Francisco Giants Park or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, wait. All right. Hey, what's going on? All right. See ya.
All right. For Mike, for myself, we're ending prematurely. See you later.
All right. Long live baseball.